I get my lashes extensions done because I don't actually have lashes.
So
like this.
you feel guilty that like maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline. You just want people to think she's born with it.
Correct.
Oh, so it's like your dirty little secret.
Oh yes, like oh my God, Lauren, your eyes are so pretty, and I'm like, oh yeah, well about that.
But would you want to share the hard truth that you're dealing with right now?
I've taken my extensions off.
She's lashless.
I'm lashless. I'm dealing with it. She's
wearing all black and also a veil. Hi, breathers. This is Tracey.
And Lauren.
And this is The Air We Breathe.
We are talking about guilty pleasures.
Yes, guilty pleasure. And asking ourselves, why should we feel guilty about something that brings us pleasure? What's your guilty pleasure?
It's a physical thing that I do once a month.
You don't have to be guilty about your period.
Girl, that's just expensive. Everybody needs to know when that's happening. I'm sorry.
Okay, so what is your guilty pleasure? So it's something bodily? What does that mean?
So I get my lashes. I get extensions done once a month.
But why are you guilty about that? Like I was always thinking of guilty pleasures as like something you watched in secret.
Mm-hmm. I get a lot of those too.
So you feel guilty like you're catfishing the world?
Yes. Let's all be really transparent. I look like a thumb with eyes. If I don't have my eyelashes on, it's SpongeBob. Like the dude when he was on the Zoom call and he turned himself into a potato. Like when I tell you the amount of money I used to spend on mascara was unacceptable. But it's one of those where it's like, it's not mine. I pay somebody to put these on my eyelashes. I don't actually have lashes.
So why don't you feel that way about coloring your hair? Or do you? If somebody compliments your hair color?
No, because I think that the difference with the hair color is you're going to know after 6 weeks. When my roots start growing out, it's like, yeah, whatever, it is what it is.
So that's why you were so fastidious about getting it done.
I can't walk around with serrated eyelashes.
Yeah.
Like I've got lashes here and there's a chunk missing in the middle.
Yeah.
I've seen people do that and I'm like, baby, you only got 5 on one side, none in the middle, and 4 on the other side. I'm like, you let those go really long. I would never. I feel guilty about that. But then I would be like, I spend more with my lashes, but they look natural and I don't have to wear makeup. Like I could just wake up and just be like,
I woke up like this. I woke up like this.
I woke up like this.
Flawless,
bitch.
How long have you been guiltily getting fake lashes?
2.5 years, babe.
I wonder if the technology's advanced. Maybe you can do it at home now.
Dude, I'm going to cross my fingers and my lashes. The ones that I have left.
Is it also something about paying somebody else to do it?
Yes, absolutely. Because when you tell somebody you have a lash girl, I think the biggest guilt was it was costly. Like, Lauren, you cry broke and then you spend $50 every 2 weeks on your lash extensions. I was like, I'm not willing to give that up. But people don't need to know. They looked natural. They didn't look like Snuffleupagus was on the stage on a pole.
Right. That was a jarring amount that you just said you spent.
Mm-hmm.
But then I think about like getting Uber Eats. You could drop that much money every couple weeks. Do you think you feel guilty because of the fact that it's like a beauty thing? Because no one would judge you if you had a gym membership that was that expensive.
To me, it's just like that underlying level of fake. Why aren't you okay with your face enough to not have to spend $50 on putting fake lashes on?
You spending money on beauty is frivolous, but you spending money on coffee and a gym membership would be fine.
Not, yeah.
Like, who spends more money on beauty, men or women? Like, we're basically holding up the economy, and yet we're shamed for it. Do you feel the same level of guilt when you get your car detailed as you do when you put your lashes on? Or like, do you feel like you would be more comfortable sharing with a big group that you got your car detailed? Because you're
a really good question.
Because you're fancy. You have a guy that comes,
very door-to-door, detailing. Yep.
So that's probably got to cost a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So you're in a big group and we're talking about this. I mean, you're on a podcast, but you don't have to see the eyes. Like,
please don't look at the eyes.
It's too soon. I'm
It's
so
too soon,
sorry.
man. I'm still in mourning, bro.
She couldn't even give me the blink because I didn't notice it.
I get right.
Oh.
There's no lashes.
But like, I think you'd be more comfortable sharing, especially with men in the room.
Yeah, because it's like I got my car detailed. I have a guy that comes to my house, and then it would be like, oh, cool. You know, how much does he charge? You have more of a conversation because you're coming in like the interest of cars and how you maintenance your car is less of a conversational dud. With men. But if I were to say, you know what, I'm sorry I'm late for this get together, I had to get my lashes done, I would feel like a pile of shit. And it's only because I came here and I look good, but baby girl had to spend a lot of money to look good.
Yeah.
And it's going to be more of blink, blink from everybody else. Like, you spend money on your lashes? That's kind of weird.
Not only do you feel that expectation, like this, I should look good, but also I shouldn't be spending money on something frivolous.
Correct.
Do you see the fucked up cycle?
Oh, yeah.
Not only are we going to shame you if you don't look good, but if you're spending money to look good, like we're going to shame you on that too. Why do you think the beauty stuff why do you think there's an ingrained guilt in that?
Well, it's maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline. So it's that kind of pretty privilege where you can wake up and look gorgeous without doing anything.
But then why
the other half has to wake up and spackle their entire fucking face on so they feel human. I feel like I felt human.
There's a secret third option, which is just like, don't do either.
Oh, I'm getting there.
Really? Because you recoiled by my unshaved. I'm trying to make you feel better about the dark.
That's my mother. That was my mother coming out.
Dark side of you're like, I don't have any lashes. I'm like, yeah, but guess what? Your legs also look.
Can I
bald.
harvest some of your leg hair and save it and give it to my lash girl?
I mean, not for free.
You could do that. Make it lucrative. Like some people cut their hair and make it, sell it to make wigs and shit. You should just sell your fucking leg hair to make lash extensions.
No, sell it.
Do you understand what would happen to the economy if every woman in the US just said, like, I'm not buying beauty products for a year? I am just not going to buy a beauty product just for a year. Well, drag queens can be the exception to this boycott.
TikTok would crumble first.
But we hold up the amount of money women spend. Like if as women we realized if we just were like, you know what? You made it a guilty pleasure. All right, bet.
Now I'm just not going to do that.
Now you're going to have my thumb, which is also my face, in your face.
Popsicle stick with 2 buttholes.
That was savage.
It's so bad. It's accurate as fuck, bro. Oh. And now, a word from our sponsors. Do you want to look like the girls from Bravo's Summer House? Then come get your lashes at Leg for Lash, where we take real organic leg hair, we put it on your eyes.
Use our code BREATHERS with a Z to get $10 off your first pound of leg hair. Okay, I'm going to give you one of my current guilty
pleasures. Right now guilty pleasure.
Yes. So I am no stranger to the Bravo-verse. I am not equally guilty about all of my Bravo interests.
I have noticed.
But there are some that I don't talk about as much. Southern Charm is really the one that I'm like, oh, come on, Tracey. And it's not really my fault. It's Bravo star Paige DeSorbo's fault because she's on Summer and Winter House and they had a crossover. Then she started dating. They're broken up now. But she started dating one of the... I mean, listen, I'm going to live out loud. I'm going to just have this guilty pleasure out of it. This is how deep it goes. So they just recently broke up and he didn't deserve her. But anyway, I watched Southern Charm, which is basically just a reality show about these rich white people in Charleston.
Oh,
and the whole time I'm like, oh, at least 3 of these MFers are trying to make it great again. And they're all super rich. Producer Bud is hooking you up with a visual.
Oh, God. Let me gander.
Yeah. I mean, it's rough. Oh. It's rough.
What so part of your brain does dopamine up? Like what makes your chops drip?
I like to breathe some air and then watch it and psychoanalyze the fuck out of these people. And they do these white men do. I think that's what it is that if it was like...
Well, there's some brown men in there too, but
they're much more apt to have a woman of color than a man of color on these things, it seems like. Or they try to put it all in one package. Like they're just like, let's just get one token that has 2 sides to that coin. So they'll have like the gay Latino. And they're like, got it, check. Any double diversity they can have. They're like, that Asian lady's in a wheelchair, sign her up. And she's hot. Yes. She's a wheelchair model. Damn.
God,
gotta keep it tight.
Mary and Joseph.
Yes, it's not good. So this is why I'm saying the more they are terrible in the like they're just showing me Southern white boys, it's like, come into my web. They're just feeding me the fuel I need to get through. And then the girls are all Gen Zers, so they don't have the fucking time.
No, they don't care.
They don't
Zero
give a
fucks
shit.
given.
This one guy's dated the model / nurse who is, I'm so sorry to tell you, the insides match the outsides. Like, she's great. And he went on he wrote like a New York Times article saying shit that, see, this is interesting. I shouldn't be guilty of this. It's so fun.
And it looks like he
you know
does
what?
coke in the bathroom.
She made him work for, like, she wouldn't, she's like, was very upfront. Like,
I wouldn't have
get
sex with him. I'm not.
Stop, but
sorry.
other people would. And she's like, I'm not getting emotional. I will get emotionally attached, and I'm not gonna, you don't get that from me yet.
Love it.
Love it or leave it.
Love it.
But he wrote some New York Times thing, and she called him out in front of everybody and was like, so you put stuff in a New York Times article? You hadn't said some of that stuff to me ever. And he's like, biddy, 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 biddy. And then now, like, we're a few episodes in, and the other white dudes are like, you know, like, when are you gonna just forgive him? And she's like, I'm not. Like, I'm not asking you to not have him here. He can bring girls home, like, whatever. I don't
want him to starve, but he's not eating at my table.
Yes. He's like, but remember when the three of us used to like lay in bed and chat? And she's like, yeah, bro, we're not doing that anymore. So I think that is why I like these, is because it is,
They
I think
read
I'm
him
like,
for filth.
Yes, because the girls are so much more emotionally
healthy.
I get to like watch that play out just like over and over and over again.
I could see where that would.
And so, yeah, like the one guy,
dopamine whistle.
This will literally become a podcast about Bravo if you're not careful. This is like, you're activating my special interests and you're forced to have a captive audience.
We are on an island called Bravo.
You know, on that movie Inside Out, how she has like the different islands? My Bravo island is like,
it is Vegas.
It is Vegas. It is an all-inclusive. When I go on that island, you're not going to see me. None of my other islands exist. Friendship Island, I don't know her. Parenting Island, no.
I've tried. I get that it's a guilty pleasure from my perspective because I don't dive into those. Those.
I love the drama because it's just like the relationships. If everybody's kumbaya on these shows, I have nothing to, except the last season of Summer House. You guys, fuck. I love it. Also, shout out Giggly Squad. The girl I like the most has a podcast. I literally send her every episode on Instagram. I'm like, I think you'd really like this. I also hate men. Nothing so far. They're on tour. Maybe that's why she hasn't gotten back to me. Well, you know who I sound like? Her ex-boyfriend, Craig.
Oh.
Clingy. He really wanted to have bees. And she was like, I don't like bees, but okay. And then his friend comes over and she's telling him about the bees, and she goes, and you know what happens when they're done having sex? The queen bee flies away with his penis and rips it off of him and he dies. She's like, I'm gonna bring that to human culture. Like, that's the shit that these girls are saying right to these toxic masculines.
I love that. That's like Honey Nut Cheerio. I saw that on a social media where they said bees literally honey, they get their honey, they nut, and then they're bye.
Cheerio.
Off to Rainbow Bridge.
When I was in my 20s, I feel like there were so many times I could have eviscerated someone like that, and through trauma or through whatever, I did it.
There we are.
So that is why that is what it tickles me with. It's the same. It's my bad seed thing. Mm-hmm. Like, anybody saying exactly what they want to say the moment they want to say it, and being like, yeah, I said that, and
you're reliving your Mean Girls. Like you were sitting in the hall, not you, but like saying, you know, there's a group of people that you could have mentally outwitted and eviscerated, and now you can mentally visualize that with these people, and you know you're better than them in every way.
Yes. I didn't realize how good with my whole system. Yes, I am better. Thank you. But here's the other part, is when these girls are reading these men on national TV, I'm like, the future looks bright. Clearly this is a guilty pleasure because no one has let me talk about it this intensely ever in my entire life, and I have all these feelings. The
glow coming off of you is transcendent.
I'm not gonna have to journal about this tonight because I got to talk about it.
Do you think that if you connect with somebody and you find out that you have the same guilty pleasure, does that accelerate your friendship?
1,000%. About guilty pleasures, like, there are some things that I've had as I thought should be guilty pleasures that now I'm like, oh, they're just pleasures. Mm-hmm. Like, we're all garbage people out here just doing the same thing.
Oh my God. Things that I never thought that there was a listening audience to, right? Yeah. And now there's a TLC fucking show about it. Like, I would not tell anybody that, okay, this might be a guilty pleasure. I feel weird about it. I don't know why. That I watch pimple popping videos on YouTube before I go to bed. It relaxes me.
It relaxes
now. Dr.
Pimple Popper
is like, there is a listening audience for this broad, and there is a tribe out there, and I've met a couple of them, and it's like when you feel seen by somebody else that likes that shit, you're like, oh, Do we just become best friends? I think we just became best friends.
I think it is the sad little capitalistic soft suburban life version of like realizing somebody else was in the war.
Yeah. Yes.
Like, because I'm like, very few people care about this.
Yes.
There are 2 cousins in the fam. They are plant ladies.
Mm-hmm.
And the joy on their faces when they get together to talk about plants. Like,
my
I'm
God.
happy for them. I'm like, oh my God, thank God they have each other.
Oh, kindred spirits.
I'm like, well, and the one thing is the one is also like my Bravo person that I'm like, oh yes, let's talk about Erica Jane for 25 straight minutes, please. And I never thought I would be this bitch. Like I used to poo at those shows too. So I even went into it like I was doing something wrong. But like my mom and some of our family members had kind of talked me into it, and I'm like, oh, I will say, and this is going to get a little dark, but we're going to go with it for any of you who have lost a parent. And sometimes these little like nuggets pop up where you're like, oh my God, I didn't even think to be sad about that, and I'm sad about it. It makes me sad that my mom and I didn't have a Bravo era at the same time.
Oh,
we would have. I mean, I know she's with me in spirit. I'm straight talking to her ghost.
She's watching it with you, boo.
Because she wouldn't have like had the side info, because she wouldn't do such a deep dive as I would.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
I mean, just like I would be like her personal like Bravo TikTok. And
my God,
how pleasing that would have been.
Oh, for both of you. There's a little window to that with my dad when I was staying with him for a little bit. He had never seen The Office. And then my ex was sitting at home with him and I had to go to work. And he's like, no, I'll chill here. It's fine. We're going to watch The Office. And I came home that night, and to tell you that I can have a conversation with my father about fucking The Office and Shroot and all of the things, I was like, this is amazing.
There's something called an illusion in writing where instead of saying like, I hope at least one former student listens to this, because they're gonna be like, this is literally what this bitch said in class, like 6 different times. This is her materials. This material's been worked out. If I say producer Bud is an Einstein, what does that mean to you?
Very, very smart.
Right. So I didn't have to do much work. I made a reference and we both got it.
Yes.
So when you have those shared references, especially if it's like a guilty pleasure,
like
you found like a safe space, but yes, you've also found a shorthand. Like if I can just say somebody is a Michael Scott,
I know immediately.
I mean, when my daughter became old enough to watch the same shows and us to like watch together, it did make a difference, because it was like, we have this frame of reference now. You know what I mean?
It like, widens your communication. And
it's cute because now like her dad and I will be talking and she'll be like, oh my God, you guys always say that. And that's from Mean Girls.
She's Dorothy. She's now seeing the light.
Yeah.
And color. Yes.
She's Dorothy. She's walking in. Welcome to Oz, bitch. It's so fun here.
You have arrived.
You can pee on your own and you understand my Mean Girls references. Our relationship is perfect. Anyway, what if you love like a niche thing? You know, like have you ever, I don't know if have ever had the right kind of nerd in your life for this, but have you ever been to a Comic-Con? Like
absolutely not.
C2E2?
No. I've seen pictures of friends on social media and I just go, oh wow, they just went all the way there.
So okay, it's a convention, and they have like Star Trek conventions. I mean, there's conventions. There's
Isn't
probably
like LARPing.
Baby, yes, I know about LARPing. Like, God bless. Imagine the joy when you're like, you want to dress in tinfoil hats and hit each other with sticks and take it so seriously that there's a hierarchy. I think that's why they used to have like those conventions and stuff, though. Is like, I want to get together with other people where I know, like bronies. Do you know what those are?
My God, we worked with one.
You worked with a brony?
Yes. And he was probably a LARPer too. Or yeah, he definitely did. I've been to something that could be construed as something a little bit like that, which is Bristol's Renaissance Fair.
Oh, Bristol's Renaissance. Listen, I'm there for the pickles alone. Pickles and to get my hair braided.
Oh my God.
But
chainmail.
But it is
the inappropriate use of chainmail.
Yes.
Is so. Listen, I am not a petty person. Live your life. Be happy. Be happy in your chainmail and your elephant ears.
Okay. So then are there any guilty like I have guilt things that there aren't conventions for? Social media has sort of made more universal.
Validated you.
Like there's no, maybe there is and I just haven't come up with it, or maybe that's not where I wanted, because part of it is being alone, but there's no like bed rot convention. Like we're not all going to McCormick Place to lay in one big bed and just rot, because that also would defeat the purpose, because I'd have to get out of my bed to go.
Correct.
And the Zoom is too much work, so like just let's all know we're there.
Well, I think it's a community that makes you feel validated, right?
That other people enjoy this. Like I thought I was just like a bag of garbage that like laying down is the best experience. I've never not been excited when I lay down. Like I can get up to go to the bathroom and lay back down, and it's the same. It never gets old. It just never gets old.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I think it gets better with time.
Yes.
Laying down is aging like a fine wine for me. But we would have never admitted we spent like an hour or two in bed after we woke up. That was
Hurkle
like
Durkling, man. They in the social media made a name.
Wait, what did you just say?
Hurkle Durkling.
What's that?
It's a Scottish term for basically dicking around after you wake up. You're like in your bed, drinking your coffee from your bed, and you're chilling, and you wake up. It's waking up slowly.
Do they need a fucking mascot? Because I've been hurkling my Durkle since I was old enough to do it. Oh.
And the fact that it's like, it literally is backed up behind therapists and other people that, yes, women need 8 to 10 hours, and waking up slow is good for your mental health. Who fucking knew we were made to feel guilty our whole entire lives about fucking around in bed and trying to wake up at a normal pace?
Oh, listen. You've now hit on another guilty pleasure. Because when you brought up the lashes thing, I didn't think so much about like physical stuff, but sleep in general was like frowned upon.
You're lazy.
Like if you're asleep and your parents aren't asleep, trash.
Yes.
And if the wind blew a certain way, my mom would let me sleep in.
Mm-hmm.
But then it was
up.
like, it's like, and not only are you up, you should be happy that I let you sleep till noon because that's ridiculous.
Yep.
But it's like, babe, I have that insomnia that you act like I don't have. Your DNA gave it to me. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you don't. Who was the zombie going to the bathroom with me last night? Because it seems like you should understand that. Like,
are we projecting?
Why aren't we just both asleep?
Correct. Why can't we just both Hurkle Durkle?
Right.
Please?
And so yeah. So I think sleep in general, going like, how much more we need. Having ADHD makes me need more. Having a lot like
menopause.
Yes.
Jesus, Mary and Joseph.
And coming off of like several years of like, being fueled by Red Bulls and cortisol, I am tired, boo. My body is sleepy. My kids are even like, Mom is like a champion sleeper. And in my heart, I'm like, oh my God, they don't. And I'm like, you know
notice.
What? I'm like, yes, I am. I love it. I need sleep. And guess what? That's the whole theme in our house. Like, listen to your body. So I'm like, you're not going to shame me for it.
Well, what you're teaching your kids is sleep is important.
Yeah.
And if you don't get it, it's going to fuck up your day.
And
we weren't trained that.
When
we were trained, you don't get to sleep all you need. You just need to cover it, rub some dirt in it, and get the shit done.
It's also like the branding of it when we were kids was like, oh, they're in the dark in their room. Like they're not parenting. Whereas like if you walk into my bedroom and you're my child, you're getting in the bed.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to cuddle up and chat. And if you ask me for something that I need to get out of bed for, I'll get out of bed for you.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll do my thing and then I'll get back in bed. Mm-hmm. Or if you're like, hey, let's go do something we can't do in here. I'm like, all right, I'll put on pants. Let's do it. But I don't see any reason to like not
vilify you.
Yes, to vilify me. Or like if I want to spend my time, like why is laying on the couch any different? And don't come at me with sleep science, okay? I've tried it all. I know all the rules. They don't work on me. I power down like a computer. I don't actually go to sleep.
I joke around sometimes when I talk to people and they're like, well, I wake up at 4:30 in the morning and go to the gym and I shower at the gym and then I go to work. I'm like, you're a psychopath. Like I don't think you're a bad person, bless, mazel. But at this point, that's not my life. If you ever told me that I'd have to wake up at 4:30 in the morning, get up, make a protein shake or eat something, then get dressed in workout clothes, go to the gym, actually work my body out to a sweat, shower at a gym, and then go to work and work a full 8 to 12 hour day, get fucked all the way. Like, I'm happy for you that you can do that, but it's not happening for me. It's not in my DNA. I can't do it.
Well, and it's this bitch. It's capitalism. We have those internalized biases, so we are like policing ourselves.
Money is time.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, when we were in an agrarian culture of farmers,
mm-hmm. We have to be up with the sun.
It served the community for you to feel guilty about sleeping in.
Yes.
Babe, there are second and third shift workers now. I'm going to feel bad about not living. Well, but you can't make it to the bank if you're after work. Like,
God, we live in 2025.
Yeah.
I ain't got to get out the horse, get out the saddle, and ride on over to Western Union and get my money to the bank. Shut all the way the fuck up.
Yeah.
I can crack open my phone and bank the fuck out of my bank.
Baby, I already cashed your check. I just Venmo'd myself $5 on your phone while you were yelling at me about still being in bed.
I can Hurkle the Durkle out of my life, and you sitting here waking up at 4 a.m. to go to the gym. I can't.
Social media makes that gaslighting harder to achieve.
Yeah.
Because you're like, wait.
Oh, that's why they try to shut it down all the time.
Because this episode is about guilty pleasures, I feel confident and allowed to bring up Bravo anytime I want. So I'm doing it again right now. But like the whole thing of Summer House is like, because they're a house share, like the girls like get in the same bed together because they want to Hurkle Durkle together.
Yes.
And then the Paige, listen to this pod. Her loser ex-boyfriend was in a scene and she's like, do me a favor, pick up your phone. And he's like, oh, why? And she's like, no, okay, sit down. She's like, okay, lay down. He's like, okay, what am I supposed to do? She goes, look at it so I can look at mine and not feel bad. Like, this is the savagery.
Ooh,
like
that hits though, dude.
Right?
That's a deep fucking hit. Because yes.
This episode of the pod is brought to you by Women's Place magazine. Make sure you pick up this month's copy and read their cover story, Taking the Pleasure Out of Guilty Pleasure, How to Move Through the World Only Motivated by Guilt. Make sure to pick up your copy of Women's Place magazine for the woman who knows her place.
Do you have any guilty pleasures that social media has made you feel like better? Like you found a tribe on social media, like, oh, other people are like out and proud about this.
Smut.
Pornhub?
No.
You started watching Amateur and you were like, oh, look.
Oh, look. No, it's like there's a big community of people. They call them book talk. And it's people that read smutty books. It is definitely where they have a group of men that they would read. This is so embarrassing.
Wait, but is it though?
Yeah, I know it's not embarrassing, but it's like when people are not a part of book talk, they don't know.
We listen and we don't judge.
Yes, there would be TikToks of these men reading portions of these books and their voices, and it's bad.
It is not okay. That is not for me necessarily, but I will say a common issue with pornography. I want there to be some imagination about, like, I think that's basically what it's doing is like, it's just porn, not in a bad way, not in a
self-imaginative porn.
It's erotica.
Yes.
For the female, the way females like to be aroused.
Yes.
Like it's more of a slow and steady situation than
it's mentally aroused because you're using your information. You're
right.
using the information that you're reading, but you're also using your imagination.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good place to be sometimes.
But I get the reading it too. Also, whatever dude thought of that, like, kudos. I hope you monetize the shit out of that because that's hilarious.
They are.
So do you feel more comfortable? Is that what introduced you to smut?
No.
Yeah, I'm like, bro, the answer is no.
I was
just
no.
like baiting you. What are you talking about?
Well,
you were reading Anne Rice way back in the day.
Anne Rice, but that was never smutty.
It wasn't
smutty. I mean, there was sexual innuendos and there was stuff like that, but I think there's a disconnect on when I say smut. Very descriptive.
No, I know. Listen, I've read like Colleen Hoover, whatever. But like, then what can you?
Well, I read Twilight, and that wasn't smut.
No, but then
50 Shades of Grey came out,
yes,
and I was one of those fucking bitches that was reading the shit out of some 50 Shades of Grey. And I'll tell you, it was like, for a second, I was like, oh, these are like those Fabio books, and it wasn't though.
But that I think is the like that's a step too far for the like smut talk people.
Yes,
you're like, no, not those, but these. Because it has like a little more story to it.
It does.
It's like
there's more. I was almost at girth. There's more depth. There's more pounding.
There's the same amount of pounding, but with feelings. And magic. Sometimes magic.
Sometimes
eternal life. Yeah. Well, because 50 Shades of Grey was like. Here's how I know that people were feeling embarrassed about buying 50 Shades of Grey. Where I used to teach, I could check Kindles. So I could give the kids Kindles and then just buy like multiple books and have it available. But these were Kindles people could check out. So sometimes the teacher's aides would. So I had been warned about that. And they just said like, go on and like check. And I thought I had done like a really good job. Because there were a couple things I was like, whoop. So I had the kids sign a contract. You're not allowed to connect it to the Wi-Fi. You're not allowed to buy anything. You really only should be looking at the book that's assigned to you. But there was no way to, back in the day. I mean, these were old kids. These was like, we were like at the height of technology, giving these things out as like hoverboards, basically. So I had really dotted my I's and crossed my T's. Cut to, we're knee deep in the Giver, just living our best lives on these things. And my father-in-law passed away. So I had to go to Ohio and I get an email over the weekend. It is to me Any person that has any bearing on my employment is CC'd on this email. All the administrators at my school, all the administrators in the district, the superintendent, the school board could have been on there for all I know.
Oh my God.
And this is, I didn't have tenure at this time. So I am like, and it is an angry parent telling me that I gave their child a Kindle with 50 Shades of Grey on it. Now, this person had receipts. And by receipts, it was, do you know what that book is about? There was excerpts. There were quoted examples of inappropriate language. This person was building a fucking case. And I'm like, I am fired. I'm screwed. How did I miss this? And like, and what associate put it on there? And who am I going to take down with me? But then I went on the Amazon page on the internet, because that's my first friend whenever I'm in trouble. That was downloaded on a Saturday after I had checked those out.
So some little kid thought he was being slick.
Okay, but also, no, I don't think so, because these were little kids. I mean, not little, but
they didn't know how to work the Kindle like that.
Well, they didn't know to look for that book. You would have to search that book out. You'd have to know what that book was to download it. I wonder if somebody had a horny mom, because the email I got was from the dad.
The tea is piping hot. Damn.
The reason I also don't think it was the kid, like, this kid was not. This kid was tucking in his polo shirts, like, voluntarily. Like, that. No. Okay. No. Any kid that's not, look, let me put it this way. I've known enough middle schoolers to know they're not going to expose that region of their body if they're thinking about inappropriate things. Between 6th and 7th grade, a lot of shirts become untucked. They all think it's the style. It's not. It's utilitarian.
That shit is hilarious.
Yeah.
So what happened?
Oh, what happened was
invested.
I called my principal. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, but I checked it, and this is what it was. And she's like, say less. Do not respond to the email. Good luck with your family. See you when you get back. And then, like, just the most professionally, like, surgically with precision, she said, let me use the rib splitters to spread your cheeks. I'm going to use a very sharp knife to give you the second asshole. It won't be ripped. It'll be, you won't even feel it till you're shitting out of 2 holes. That was one of those, I heard it right along with you.
The fucking visual.
Is that too far? Too far? No.
Just right, bro.
Okay, so they received this, the calls coming from inside the asshole.
2 of them.
The calls.
There's an echo now.
There was 0 response. And those parents did not speak to me in any way for the like, did not come to conferences. But I did get sizable gift cards. Both at Christmas and at the end of the year.
That was the wife. Yep. Say less.
Anyway, so yes, I think 50 Shades of Grey was very taboo when it first came out. But now you feel empowered?
I do. I feel like there's enough people. There's girls at work. One of my good friends, we share reels about smut all the time, and there's new books that I'm interested in reading. I do love a chronicle. Sookie Stackhouse.
Oh my God.
I mean, does it make you, it's a guilty pleasure in the beginning because it doesn't make you over sexualized, doesn't make you promiscuous, you know too much about sex now.
That's the one.
And it's like now you want to try it in real life.
Wait, you actually want to get horny, but you're a girl.
Oh. Yeah, that's hard. I think that really goes away after 40. But when you're in your 20s, you're under the sheets like, shh, nobody say I have a vibrator.
But now that's not the case.
No.
But
I use it as clout.
It was embarrassing. And then some women, like the social media aspect, like it started to become more mainstream, like 50 Shades of Grey, like they talked about on The Office. And then I feel like if you think about the covers of 50 Shades of Grey, they looked like Twilight. But now you picture like a Colleen Hoover, like it has a whole different, like there's a clear vibe that separates them distinctly from 50 Shades and the Fabio of it all.
Yes.
Like you're not going to see 2 people embracing on the cover.
No.
It's going to look, because you know why? Then you can take it out in public. And unless you know, you don't know.
Yeah, and nowadays it's more the covers are empowering the woman of the romance novel, right? And the erotica is now, it's not just a sexy guy with no shirt and some tattoos. though I have some of those too. But it's mostly, it's empowering the woman.
Okay, I have a question for you since you're a connoisseur. Do the ones that still look like a Twilight book, like, do you know you're getting into something different than if you
Yes.
pick up a book?
Yes. One is more of fantasy or sci-fi.
Yeah.
And another one's more clear to, could be taken, in present day context.
Well, I'm also on Book Talk, obviously. And so I'll listen to some of the descriptions sometimes. And apparently, like, fairy sex is real big right now. Because they're like
werewolf, fairy.
Well, I knew about
vampire,
werewolves, but the fairy thing was like
the fairies.
There's
a big one.
The fairy king wants. It's like the labyrinth babies grew up. Like, okay,
hey, gotcha.
This will remind you of the babe.
What babe?
The babe with the power.
What power?
Erections.
And on that note,
I didn't know it was gonna happen either.
Bonjour, pretties. Do you want to smell like guilt? Do you want to smell like pleasure? Then you should be wearing the all-new fragrance, Guilty Pleasure, from Bravo TV, the legendary fragrance house of Bravo. Get your bottle of the all-new, very nice smelling Guilty Pleasure.
Now we have live and in studio. We're going to have producer Bud with his soulful, velvety voice. Tell us
your guilty pleasures, Bud.
Tell us your secret.
Well, my guilty pleasure is fragrance. There used to be these things called shopping malls. And they would have fragrance counters. So if I was on break or before or after a shift, I would go and peruse the fragrance counter. And another level of the guilty pleasure is fragrances are gendered.
Women smell like flowers and men smell like blue water.
Exactly. Yes. It's just marketing. But if you don't want to smell like the back row of a 4x4 cab,
Ford Tough.
Right. I don't need to smell Ford Tough. I don't need nor want to smell like
leather and Marlboro Reds.
Motor oil.
Which is fine.
With a hint of sandalwood.
A little bit.
There's always sandalwood. They put the sandalwood in there because no fucking het man knows what sandalwood is.
No, but they know what teak wood and mahogany is.
You don't know what that is.
50-mile
But they know
radius.
it feels manly.
Exactly.
If I would want to be surrounded with that kind of leather and that kind of wood, it's manly.
You have to have some speed of wood in the male fragrance in order for it to be palatable. You have to have teak wood, sandalwood, cedar. You have to smell like a forest. You have to smell like flannel. You have to smell like you just did a physical job that your fucking desk jockey, high blood pressure, gout foot doesn't even know how to do.
No crumbs were left.
Well, she'll love you because she'll think you're a lumberjack. Like, I'd never thought of it that way. Like, you smell like the pine trees you live amongst.
Mm-hmm. Yes, exactly. Yes.
Oh my God. You smell like the guy from a Hallmark Christmas movie. Well, then, in the 90s, then you had, I think, Calvin Klein tried a little bit with their CKB or CK1, where it was unisex. That was back in 94?
They were like, I see you, bud. I see how to make money off of you. Bet.
But it didn't, it smelled okay.
Your whole family was doused in that shit. Don't even try
That's why I have trigger responses.
So then what was your fragrance? What was your guilty pleasure?
Well, it's not about one in particular. It's the concept of, this is my guilty pleasure because I have this hidden away in my bathroom. The bottle also makes it a guilty pleasure. Most of the time, fragrances that are shopped as male it's less design. It's more ergonomic and less fancy.
He won't pick it up if it's not ergonomic sold at Sharper Image.
It's gonna spill or fall out of my man hands. It has to just be a simple thing I can spray. So if you're not afraid of a atomizer, then you can start smelling and shopping around any fragrance you want. It doesn't matter if the lid is meant to look like a flower blossoming or
Daisy by Marc Jacobs.
Exactly. Yes. But it's another form of armor that you get to put on before you have to leave your comfortable home and then be out amongst the unwashed, smelly masses. So yes,
they smell like motor oil, you bitch.
You fat bitch, you smell like motor oil.
My best friend wears Old Spice deodorant. It was very sexually confusing for me because my nose was like, I should be attracted to you. You smell like a straight man. But then I was like, you're not. And you definitely connect, like you gender sense.
yeah.
Like
Oh, yeah.
very clearly. I use John's face wash and it smells intensely like toothpaste. Did you have a specific secret fragrance? Or like
Well-
like one you went steady with for a while?
For a very long time, and up until recent events, big supporter of Gwen Stefani. So I would always wear L. And one night we were walking to our cars, and it was like a warm summer evening, and you were upwind of me, and you were like-
Lauren and Bud are friends outside of the pod.
Oh, yeah.
we've done a couple tours together.
Yes.
And so you stopped dead in your tracks, and you were like, someone smells like Frisia. And I felt so exposed. Your fragrance is something that you can like secretly take a whiff of throughout the day
Mhm.
to re-up yourself.
Well, and most people don't pay that close attention.
Yeah.
Yes.
But not,
Nobody looks that hard.
not this perfume slut.
No,
Yeah.
I'm a smell good whore.
That's what I was thinking when you were talking. If you walked anywhere near me with Clinique Happy on in high school, I would have
Oop.
I'd have been like, you're wearing Clinique Happy.
No, exclamation was my fucking
Oh,
vibe.
yes.
Oh,
It's almost like a guilty pleasure bond is on the same level as a trauma bond.
Yes.
Because as soon as I sheepishly leaned into Lauren and admitted that I was wearing L by Gwen Stefani, and then she did not judge me, and she immediately was like, I love that shit, and the hints of this, and the base note of this, because we can match each other fragrance for
Yes.
fragrance
Yes.
with what smells like what,
Yes.
where you spray it, where it
Yes.
activates, how it's going to
Yes.
activate
Don't
throughout the rest
rub.
of the day. And I mean, we were already kind of like a step past just worker friends, but this was really like, it is a certain level of you fast forward, like pass go, collect $200.
yeah,
You
it
are now
galvanized it.
deeper friends because you have this shared guilty pleasure.
I showed you my underbelly and you gave it a little scratch.
Exactly, yeah.
So like, what can I ask you what your fragrance is now?
Yes. So there's the one that Lauren gifted me like 2 months ago, which I layer that with my current guilty pleasure, which this also adds to the pleasure, not the guilt, because I have moved past that. But now that all fragrance is game to me, there's no limits. I'm not going to shop on the left side of the counter because those are the men's fragrances.
Love that.
No guilt, just pleasure. Put that as your 2025, guys. No guilt, just pleasure.
You heard it here first.
Mhm.
And you'll be able to buy merch on Redbubble.
But no, right now, Elizabeth Taylor, Pleasures for Men.
Wow. For
And-
men? So she's doing something right.
She only did things right.
Elizabeth Taylor had white diamonds.
Rich.
Dude, I remember for Christmas I got the sampler thing. I must have been 12,
I was jealous.
13. It was white diamonds and rubies, white diamonds and sapphires, white diamonds and emeralds. And I bathed. They were like little droplets with bows on
I
top.
think I definitely stole the emeralds one.
Yeah. So I was ruby and white diamonds straight.
Yeah.
Man.
I also really liked the Gap fragrances.
Oh yes.
Grass.
Heavenly was my jam.
Nana Republic, way back when, they used to have a scent called Black Walnut.
Ooh.
Ah!
When I tell you that the Venn diagram of young Bud entering the one night stand arena and the circle of starting to wear Black Walnut, it wasn't a Venn diagram. It was one circle at that point. It was one circle on top of another circle. Just like how I was on top of the men. But that's also part of the guilty pleasure is I am being marketed at to smell like flatbed truck, but men don't want that smell by them. They're not attracted to that smell.
Yeah.
So you have to learn how to play the game. You have to know how to hack the system.
Yep.
And if you want to attract a man, then you gotta know what to smell like. But you don't want to necessarily remind them of their mother. So you have to find that balance of, oh, this scent aggressive, but is also supple enough for it to be inviting.
So it's like the black of a velvet, but we're going to put the word nut in there so you know it's still for a man.
Of course, because if it's not nut, it's wood. If it's not wood, it's nut. Male
Yeah.
If it doesn't
fragrances.
come from a tree, you shouldn't be wearing it.
If it's not found in the forest, put that bottle down. You're
Get away from the flowers. I didn't mean those.
Well, I think the same goes for some, women out there. You have a flirty girl fragrance, and then you have a power move fragrance. And I've got more of a masculine scent when I want to be empowered. And if I want to be flirty and girly, quote unquote, I'm going to wear something more sweet or floral. And that you have to be able to let the fragrance work for you in that context, because if you don't, then you're just walking around smelling like fucking Marshall Fields. And I feel like me with scent is something I never was able to grow out of, chubby being chunky.
Well, scents and shoes. Those are the two things. Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Scents
And
shoes.
I have both things. I have too many of.
When we would go to the shopping malls of old, if you were a thick girl, you're like, let's go to the perfume.
Yes.
Also,
Yes.
then thank you, Bath and Body Works, because then it was like a whole that really changed the game.
Oh my God.
Just gonna-
Lush, bitch.
Rich.
Me and Bud used. That's what I think galvanized our friendship, was we walked into Lush together and lost our fucking minds.
Those associates, I feel we were perfectly diplomatic and kind. We know how to
1,000%.
behave ourselves, but I still feel bad for those associates because we acknowledged them.
Ugh.
They came up to us like, "Oh my gosh, hi, are you interested in smelling like bird shoe?" No, baby, I know what everything is in this store.
Mhm.
I could find it faster than you.
It's the Ron Swanson moment when they go into the Home Depot. He's like, I know more than you.
Every turn.
Just walk away.
Just give me the basket.
Put the lotion in the basket.
Or Elsa gets the truth bomb again.
Do you have any final thoughts you want to add?
Less guilt, more pleasure.
Say it again with your whole chest.
The year of 2025 is less guilt and more pleasure.